really started to take off. I won the Money in the Bank briefcase and then cashed it in to beat the Big Show for my first World Heavyweight Championship.
Can you believe it? Daniel Bryan is the new World Heavyweight Champion.
But for every step forward, it seemed like I took 2 steps back. One was pretty big, when at WrestleMania in 2012, I lost the world title in just 18 seconds.
Oh man! A front kick by Sheamus! Oh my God! Sheamus is the world champion! That may be one of the fastest title changes in the history of WrestleMania!
After that, I was angry and wanted to blame a lot of people for my failure. But it actually led to one of the most enjoyable times of my career.
Daniel Bryan's forced to go to anger management with that man. No!
I formed an unlikely partnership with Kane.
Shut your mouth right now!
The devil's favorite demon is nothing without the world's toughest vegan! No! 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 No!
Kane is one of my favorite people. We almost have the same sense of humor.
Daniel Bryan and Kane hugging out tonight. This is the most awkward and weird thing I've ever seen. There we go, yes, they hugged it out. Anger management, I believe, has been a success.
We just had a lot of fun.
We watch each other's back. Team Hell No style.
We had our first shot at the Tag Team Championships when we faced Kofi Kingston and R-Truth at Night of Champions in 2012.
We're in Boston in a building where many great champions have been crowned, and right now, the tag team titles are on the line. The champions, Kofi Kingston and R-Truth against the unlikely team of Daniel Bryan and Kane.
Talk about an odd couple, Michael. With everything we've seen from Bryan and Kane in the past few weeks, I gotta wonder if Dr. Shelby's anger management therapy can turn these two into a cohesive unit.
What do you know about therapists, Saxton? They've been thrusted into this position while the champions have been centered around their teamwork for the past 5 months. Kane and Bryan only have anger management in common. I wouldn't call that a building block towards tag team titles.
The leg drop. It's all over but the crying. Kane and Daniel Bryan are seeming to get along thus far, Corey.
Yeah, they're getting along for one reason: to get rid of that quack Dr. Shelby. Even I would try to get along with you, Cole, if it meant not listening to Dr. Shelby.
Just a mean DDT. Look at this. He drops the leg. That'll have you worrying about long-term injuries for sure.
We've been seeing Daniel and Kane in therapy for weeks now. It's not anger management that these two need. What they need is respect from the WWE Universe. These Yes Chance fans do are an absolute mockery to Daniel Bryan. I don't blame him one bit for being angry.
Into his bag of acrobatic tricks. You know, Corey, I see Daniel's issues with the S-Champ, but I don't have a problem with it. I mean, even... Oh, and he makes the tag.
That was a game changer right there, Michael.
Looking a little out of it, up on that turnbuckle.
Oh, this could very well be the beginning of the end.
So, Michael, let me ask you, did Daniel Bryan's anger management issues begin way back in April at WrestleMania, when Bryan, who was World Heavyweight Champion at the time, lost his title to Sheamus in a record 18 seconds? It's been haunting Daniel Bryan for months.
Yes, it did. Listen, Daniel Bryan confessed that WrestleMania was the most embarrassing moment of his whole life, and that's including the time his fiancée left him at the altar. Come to think of it, that was this year, too. I can't blame Daniel for feeling some stress.
Bringing it back into the ring.
Elbow drop.
I think I hear R-Truth calling out for help from little Jimmy. Maybe Truth should ask Kofi first.
Guys, when the WWE Universe has the power on Monday Night Raw, they can be really nutty. Case in point, a few weeks ago, the WWE Universe voted on social media to have Daniel Bryan and Kane hug it out in the middle of the ring. Yes, folks, hug it out.
Yeah, it was not a sight we usually see in a WWE ring. Kane and Daniel appeared to be two people that have never given a hug in their whole life. An awkward moment that showed they both still had a ways to go in their anger management.
Across the chest.
Looks like he wants back in this match.
That certainly looks to be the case, Michael.
From what we've seen and heard tonight, there must be serious injuries.
Ever since Kofi and R-Truth became allies, they've been on a tear in WWE. They know how to work together as a tag team. Then on the other side of the ring, judging from the last few weeks, Kane and Daniel Bryan are far from being on the same page.
Same page? Daniel and Kane aren't even reading the same book. Whereas Kofi and Truth, they're finishing each other's sentences.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
We talk about being on the same page, and Truth and Kofi certainly are. But wouldn't you think Kane and Daniel Bryan's shared experience in anger management can create a chemistry of sorts?
Kofi and Truth have held those titles for 5 months. You'd be ridiculous to think that trust falls and yelling at kids wearing goat masks for a couple of weeks is going to get you the same kind of chemistry that tag team champions have.
Here's a cover, and the count's broken, keeping the match alive.
In comes Kane.
I need to say, guys, if Daniel Bryan and Kane can work together and win here tonight, Dr. Shelby deserves a Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, Cole, but I have it on good authority that Dr. Shelby isn't even a certified therapist. My sources on the health board say he dropped out of medical school to visit Tibet on some kind of spiritual excursion. That guy's a fraud.
Flattens him with a clothesline. Dropped, and that was a hard shot, Corey.
Yeah, you might want to think about throwing in the towel at this point.
He releases it.
And you can debate whether or not that would have been the end. Interesting decision there.
You know, I have to say, I've seen some progress in Kane and Daniel Bryan's anger management. I don't think they are all the way there, but there's been definite progress.
I see it too, Michael. We don't see Daniel screaming in the face of fans anymore.
Here comes Daniel Bryan sending Kingston across the ring.
And Daniel Bryan looking to put Kofi Kingston away for the tag team titles. Drop kick, Kingston's in trouble.
The
Kane
are in peril. The Big Red Machine making the long climb to the top rope.
I don't think Bryan wanted Kane to make the tag.
No, not at all. He felt like he was in control, and now Kane is heading up top.
It's just a matter of time till this team implodes. We know they can't stand each other.
Kingston.
Look at Bryan. Bryan is hanging onto the ankle of Kane.
Kingston.
Crash and burn.
And now Daniel Bryan. Shoved away by Kane.
This is hilarious.
Bryan with a shot to Kane.
What is happening?
And there's Kane off the top rope. Splash into a cover. New tag team champion.
Oh my God.
No way.
Yes way.
I cannot believe what we just saw.
What we just saw is two man in Kane and Daniel Bryan, who can't stand each other, but now they're tag team champions.
Kane can't believe it. Daniel Bryan is celebrating.
No amount of therapy could have prepared the WWE Universe for this. This is going to be a disaster.
Can you imagine Kane and Daniel Bryan as tag team champions?
We don't have to imagine it. It's a reality.
And it's weird.
I guess anger management worked, well, at least somewhat, right?
Team champions! I am the tag team champions! I am the tag
And look at
team
this.
Can't even agree who the real champion is.
Well, it's both of them, Byron.
Tag team champions! I am the tag team champions!
This is going to be interesting to watch. There's obviously no argument here. They both won the titles.
They can't even enjoy the victory together.
Oh, watch out!
The Big Red Machine certainly not pleased with the situation, but he can call himself one half of the tag team champions.